Hi folks, we're at Nigel's flat once more, and you'll be able to tell from the film that you'll see eventually on the blog that we've actually decorated. This wall was a little bit iffy and it's not fantastic, but we've done the best we can.
Yeah.
And Nigel chose the colour, Nigel, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Or colours, because we've got different colour near the wall. Nigel took part in this extensively, as did Trey, who will be on camera shortly. We're doing this because it looks cash on the mantelpiece, aren't we, Nigel?
Cash, yeah. Cash!
So do you want to tell the viewers a little bit about how we went about this, Nigel?
Well, the first thing we did was prepare the wall, took off the old stuff and put paint, put white primer on it. And we chose the colours of what we wanted. And I chose this colour to put on this wall. And then we just did all the corners in the under here. And then we paint with brushes, and then we just rolled the stuff on, and it went on rather well. Yeah,
which Nigel chose this colour because he likes chocolate.
So somebody else does as well.
Well, yeah, if he has no chocolate left, he can eat the wall.
Exactly.
Right, Nigel?
So this is what the colour we chose to put on this wall. It was, as you said, it was a bit difficult.
Yeah, because once we got down to it, but we did the best we could. It looks kind of cottage type thing, doesn't it? You know, the old farmhouse. Yeah. But we did the other walls as well, Nigel, which actually were more difficult, I think, weren't they?
Yeah, because they're we still got the wallpaper on, and you know a wallpaper can go like that.
So what was it called, that kind of paper tray? Was it embossed or something? Or?
Embossed, yeah.
Yeah, so when you were putting the paint on, Nigel, it was more difficult to get the paint into those grooves, wasn't it?
Too right, it was.
And then once we'd done that, Nigel, it went over a few days, didn't it? Because we had to keep coming back to it.
Yeah.
Do you remember how many coats we had to put on it?
There were 2.
Yeah, we did 2.
2 coats.
And then you did a bit of touching up, didn't you, yourself?
Yeah, I did the skirting boards and the windowsill. And so...
Who did the ceiling?
You. I did the ceiling. Harry did the ceiling.
Yeah, which is the best part of the room, actually, if you look at that. Also, Mark was involved, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Initially, when we first started doing this.
I started with the...
Yeah, and you did a really good job because it was difficult to get this paper off this wall, wasn't it, Nigel?
Yeah, 50.
And I think, sorry?
50 shades of plaster.
Yeah, and I think yourself and Mark did some work on your own, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
Mark came through.
Yeah, I did.
Good old Mark.
Yes.
So, what was the most difficult part of doing this, Nigel? Because you did quite a lot yourself. Which was the most difficult, do you think?
Well, just getting into the corners and stuff, and getting the skirting boards done. Because you had to manoeuvre.
But you're more mobile now, aren't you?
Yeah,
So that's a lot better. But what did you have to do before you painted the skirting board? Do you remember?
I had to sand them down, make them look tidy, so the paper would go in it. Okay.
Remember you protected your carpet because you did that yourself?
Putting dust sheets down and stuff, and covering up the TV and stuff and the sofa.
And what did you put up against the skirting board? Do you remember?
Tape, masking tape as well.
Yeah, masking tape. Yeah.
Masking tape.
Which you've done a good job of because I can't see any marks on the floor.
No.
And of course we've got new curtains.
New curtains as well.
We've got a new clock.
Yeah, new clock.
Do you know why we chose that clock, Nigel?
Through the because of the colours on the wall. It's colour, and it blends in with the decor. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know some people do when clients move into properties, they actually help them to organise colours and things like that. But then others don't get a lot of choice in that, and they tend to sit in the wings. So we would encourage people, if you do this kind of thing, for people to live independently, to do the best you can to make sure people are involved in choosing colours and furbishment and things, which Nigel was for the clock and the curtains. Yeah, which we've actually had the curtains quite a while, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
Tell by the creases.
Yeah.
So, what's the next step, Nigel, for this room? Because you've got new furniture, you've got your 3-piece suite.
Well, just getting a new light fitting.
Yeah.
And maybe some better storage, some more cabinets and stuff.
Yeah, and you're going to house what in those cabinets? Your
more books and that, and then my DVDs as well, and stuff like that.
So this room now has a new carpet,
Yeah.
it's got new furniture, it's got new curtains.
Yeah.
You painted the windowsill as well, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was a tough job because it hadn't been painted since 1920, which is actually before the property was built. And you've got a new door,
Yeah, I have a new door as well.
which our lovely joiner Dave put on for us, and new handles as well. Trey's now going to scan round to show the people the door.
I stained it as well.
Yeah, he did, he stained it as well.
He puts that stainer on as well.
Yeah, and here, Nigel's got a new table.
Yeah.
Well, actually two new tables.
Yeah, 2 new tables.
That's a guest table. This is Nigel's main table. What's going here, Nigel?
Off of the train set when the table's sorted.
Yeah.
Off of your train set, we'll go in this corner here. Only.
Yeah, so Nigel's going to have a train layout here, because he's a train buff,
Yeah.
secret train spotter. Dave's put on a board on the table we bought from Amazon, and we're going to create the layout as best we can. And Nigel, you're going to an event this weekend?
This weekend, yeah, to get hopefully some tips and stuff. And
It's the, what's it called, the railway,
the Modern Railway exhibition.
and where's it at?
Lily Wall.
At Lily Hall, yeah.
In a gist place.
So Nigel's going to come back with some ideas of what we can do to build his layout.
Yeah, hopefully,
yeah. Hopefully we'll
hopefully,
so
yes.
on the next video you'll see the rail layout being created. Right, I'd like to bring in Trey for a minute just to give her thoughts on the process, because she's never really been involved in anything like this before. And because she's actually going to be getting her own property eventually, she has to learn some skills, isn't she, Nigel, about how to paint. She's still a long way off, but she's getting there. So we're going to hand you across to Trey now.
Well, yeah, I remember when we started doing this, Nigel, like Harry said, I hadn't touched a paintbrush in like, 40 years. And
You could tell.
I had no idea what I was doing, what the process was, how it all started. I couldn't remember any of it. And I remember you had done some work in the past with Harry, hadn't you? In community areas. So you had more experience than me of how to do the painting, you know, the layers, what paint does what, and using rollers and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, did I?
So it was a big learning curve for me.
But Nigel was also a bit rusty as well, because it's quite a long time since Nigel was involved in
I'd done it when we did it in Wigton.
Yeah, Wigton.
Yeah.
After that went, we stopped and.
That was a long gap, wasn't there? So
Yeah.
really was it. But you know, obviously you'd eventually kind of got back on track again, and you were working on your own as well when we weren't here.
Yeah, so it was kind of good, wasn't it, to go
Yeah.
back to those kind of skills. So at first I was observing and what do I do and where do I go with things. So
Do you remember what was crucial in doing this work with Nigel to make sure that he was involved? Do you remember?
I think there was a lot of communication and organising who did what and when and how it was done. Because we had two paints, didn't we, paint colours, and they were very similar when we took them out the tin.
Yeah, they were, yeah.
And there was a little bit of confusion about which paint are you using and where's it going.
Yeah.
So
Nigel kept eating part of it.
Yeah, he was. He was like,
It didn't taste nice.
is this brown or is this
It's not chocolate, Nigel. It's not chocolate.
I put sugar in it.
That was hot chocolate.
I put some sugar in too. It can taste nice.
So I remember that. I remember because of the similar tones.
Yeah.
It was being organised. Who was what tray was using what paint, and which part of the wall we were on, and it'd be all organised which part we were doing, so that we didn't overlap and we didn't get the wrong paint.
Yeah, it clicked eventually, didn't it?
It did. It did. And also because of the problems we had with this wall, and realising it was patchy and stuff.
Yeah.
And then after each session we did, because we didn't do a massive amount all at once, we'd organise before we were going to do the next one what was going to happen.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we knew, right, wait, this is what happened, this is how it looks, let's check it again. And each person again had their own job, didn't they, their own section, whatever colour. When it was ladder time, Harry got that job. Being your job like heights. No,
I knew a window cleaner didn't like heights. He only cleaned downstairs windows.
Yeah, like, oh no, I'm not going to
So before we round off, sorry to put in there, I was just aware of the time. So if we have people watching this who imminently will have people moving on and moving into their own properties where they'll be actually doing the decoration, what pointers would you give to people to make sure it's a comfortable transition and that they're involved as much as they can be in that painting, decorating, refurbishing or whatever?
I think the people who are supporting them need to find a way to help them be involved in some way. Even if, you know, from the start, go for the paint, we were together, we talked about it. Even before we went for the paint, we had ideas, we looked at ideas of rooms online and we picked colours.
Definitely. Because
from the carpet, to the curtains, to the walls, and now all the fixtures and fittings. So Nigel was involved from the start, from the discussion to going for the bits. So that would be my suggestion, is if you're supporting somebody, have them involved in some way.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you know, I mean, there were certain parts perhaps Nigel wasn't really aware of, but he was still part of it.
Yes.
You know, and I would advise people that if you do something like we're doing now, and we know we haven't actually got to the end yet, although we are quite close and there's other rooms to do as well, is to, even if the person isn't really understanding what's going on, have them there while you're doing it. You know, I mean, that's for me pretty much person-centred. So I'm going to ask you both to highlight which areas you actually worked on mainly, which are the areas that you worked on the most, because there were some areas where you actually worked on the most. One was that wall there. And just talk to me a little bit about the kind of problems that you had while you were doing it, because these things will come up for people when they're actually doing it. So if we go to, say, this wall here.
This wall here was the most difficult time.
If you both come across.
Felt?
Just walk normally. Oh, you can't, can you?
I'll just crawl over this.
No, she can walk normally. It's because the table blocked her off, sorry.
Yes.
Now move the table. Because he lives here and he likes moving tables.
Yes, this wall was difficult because we took the paper off originally, didn't we? You and Mark did that. And when you and Mark took the paper off, plaster came off and it was uneven and there was holes and it was just a nightmare, wasn't it?
It was,
so first we had to do some filling in at the plastering and then we had to rub it down. And then we had to try and paint it.
What problems did you come up against when you were doing that wall? Because it was actually a difficult wall there. I think it was the most difficult wall in comparison to these ones.
It was, because all the dents and
Well, one of the things I noticed when we put the paint on, it sucked it up uneven.
It did,
There was parts where you thought, oh, it's okay, and then you look again and it'd gone patchy, and the other parts were better.
So how did you as a team identify those faults and how did you rectify them?
Well, we had a look after it started to dry. I remember we did that.
We did dry and then just put some more on there.
Yeah, we were looking at it and thought, oh, wait a minute, wait till it's dried a bit. I remember you saying, you know, the next day, I've been looking at this, and you would point out parts you could see was a problem. And that's what we did. We kind of like left it a few days in between, doing the next bit of painting to see how it was drying and which parts are actually taking in more than others.
So what about the edges then? Because they were areas where you'd both, you know, kind of struggled a wee bit. Now, so do you want to talk to me a little bit about the edging and how you found it difficult?
These parts here,
and the sides where the walls were the different colours. Around your skirt. And remember what that was like?
It was all even stuff, difficult to paint.
How did you get over that then?
Can't remember.
Did you rush it? Did you take your time? What was the...
Oh, it just took our time, anyway.
Well, yes, I remember you had to get different sized brushes, didn't we?
Yeah, you did,
There were different sized brushes, and we went around the edges first, if you remember.
Yeah, we did,
and then rolled in between. So we did the edges first because we knew they were going to be difficult.
Yeah, definitely are.
So we had two different sized brushes, if I remember. We had a slightly thicker one for, you know, the wall edges, and a thinner one for the skirting.
Skirtings,
and then the piping and round the plugs and stuff. And then we rolled in between. So the edges had to be done first, weren't they? They were. I think we did that in one day. And then
You did, you did.
Came back and did the rolling in between after that.
So it's worth taking your time, isn't it, really?
Well, yeah,
I
because it
think
has
so.
to be planned out, because otherwise, because it did happen, I mean, we caught the top, didn't we, when we were rolling a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
You did, yeah.
Same with the skirting and stuff, and the plugs. We had to clean them off as we were going.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would have made it slowed us down, trying to do
Yeah.
edging and then rolling. And that was something I didn't think about, because I hadn't done anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, we're none of us painters and decorators. Okay, Nigel had some experience, and I worked for Manpower Sales for a number of years and picked a lot of tips up from people, as well as my own stuff I did. But it's worthwhile taking your time and working as a team.
Yeah.
But always include the person who's actually going to live in the property, because I've been in a number of situations where people have them just, oh, we'll do it, you're all right.
Yes, and that's a shame, isn't it?
Well, it is, however low someone's cognition is, there's always somewhere they can actually access or be included. And that for me is real person-centred.
And I think as well, I remember seeing how much you started to enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Can you remember that?
Yeah.
When, once it got going and started.
Yeah.
How's it feel, Nigel, now, before we round off? This room now, it's been transformed. How does it make you feel when you're actually in that space?
Okay, yeah, because it's better. Nice to have a different colour on the walls instead of just the plain white and the other stuff as well. And that awful wallpaper. 50 shades.
Which we still got through there in the hallway, Nigel?
50 shades of plaster as well.
Bit of nostalgia for Nigel, he just pops in every so often to have a look.
I don't remember what it was like.
What did it look like that?
So you would say it's been a positive experience, Nigel?
Yeah, it is positive, yeah.
And of course there's other things to do, but we'll come back to this. So if anybody wants to make any comments, you can do. It's been an enjoyable process.
It has, yeah.
And it would be for other people as well if it's done correctly.
Yeah.
And people are involved and included at all stages, I'd hasten to add. And also Nigel and Trey are available for painting and decorating. There's a number on the blog that you ring.
And it's that central rate.
You'll probably be put through the voicemail and
yeah.
but hey.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't ever want to touch a paintbrush again for a long time.
So any parting shots both before we finish off?
Can't think of anything.
Anything you want to say? No?
I've got a real sense of satisfaction doing this.
Yeah.
Being involved in this. It's been so nice to see the change.
Yeah, yeah.
And the ideas we had initially all come together.
Did, yeah.
Oh, they did, yeah, and I was dead chuffed with that as well. Because it was hard to see how it was going to come about, wasn't it, Nigel, when we first started doing it?
Yeah.
I mean, we had an idea in our heads what we hoped it would look like, and I just think it could turn out much better.
Yeah, a lot better, yeah.
I think Shane and I didn't, not us, Nigel, we just went with it.
We just went with it. That's what we stopped with
I
it.
did, I had this idea in my head, I thought, right.
We just came along and just...
We just put paint on.
And we did that.
Did we get Nigel's clock in the thing last time?
Yes.
I'm going to just finish this off now by letting people see how we also included things that were part of Nigel's personal interest, and the clock was one of them. So I'm going to go across to the clock.
Yes, because that's is it a carriage clock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Nigel, do you want to come across and... This is the clock, by the way, folks.
Clock!
And this is Nigel.
Hello, clock.
So you want to tell us, Nigel, why we chose that clock?
Well, because it blends in with it's a closed clock and it blends in with the paint.
Yeah.
Because we tried other ones, but it wasn't. We looked at other ones.
Yeah, they were too light, weren't they?
Yeah, so this one is ideal.
So why that style of clock then?
Because from the railways as well.
Yeah.
They have them at railway stations as well.
And that's one of your personal interests, is it?
Yeah.
Which I think we mentioned earlier, didn't we?
Yeah,
We did, yeah.
Yeah, we've got some tracks to go down next week.
Yeah.
A little railway line through to the kitchen on the Scotsman.
Pen on it.
Right, so we'll round off now. Thanks both, and hopefully when you see this on the blog that you'll be able to give some comments and get some pointers as well. And we will come back to it because we've got more work to do.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks very much.